We will call our meeting to order. Can we please rise for the pledge of prayer? Pledge of Thank you. Heavenly Father, we stand before you this morning. We thank you for the joys and the gifts you have given us. Please give us all the courage, strength, and wisdom to watch over each and every one of us, watch over each other, to watch over, be with our ambulance, our EMS, our fire, police, our medical teams, as well as our men and women here at home and overseas. Please give us the courage and guidance to make the difficult decisions ahead. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming out on this, starting out this snowy Tuesday morning in April. It doesn't happen too often, but we made it through. So, called membership. Commissioner Stiles, I am here. Commissioner Wink is here, and Commissioner Bachman. We're all three here. And as public comments, we have nobody on our docket. So we'll move on to the approval of our minutes for March 11th, 2025. I'll take a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Having a first and second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Our expenditures, our top 10 expenditures.
Okay, well, you see the expenditures listed on the agenda. Let me go over what our top expenses were this past month. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, well, 10, I've kept there. 5 of them are children and youth related as our top 10 this month. So we have UPMC for employee insurance, $162,218. And we have Adelphoi Village, which is a group home for CYS, and that's $82,819. I'm rounding this. Then we have Abraxas, am I saying that right, Chris?
Yes.
Abraxas Foundation, which is a group home for CYS at $37,503. We have our first quarterly payment for 2025 for the Bedford County Development Association of $30,000. We have for the CYS UFSS programs, $28,935. We have PPEC, which is for our electric, and that was $23,382. Independent family, which is child in their own home for CYS, $22,351. To be Moyer Radio, which is a grant that was received for radios. And I believe, is that for, what department is that? Is that for 911?
That's collectively for all law enforcement. It's a regional grant that gives updated radios to all the law enforcement entities in the county.
Excellent. And that was $21,619. For the community specialist, for Outlook Academy, CYS, $21,110. And last, Medico, which is jail contracted medical services, $20,094. So I will make that motion.
Seconded.
Having a first and a second, I would like to say that you said about the 5 CYSs.
Mhm.
That total amount was $192,718. Having a first and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion will carry. Old business. We have no old business listed, no county staff updates, awards, and bids. We'll go straight to our new business. We have a motion to act on a change of assessment of, excuse me, a motion to act on the changes of the assessment notice control report for the month of March 2025, based upon the recommendation of Joyce Hilligas, Director of Tax Assessment.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Having a first and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
That motion carries. A motion to act on the purchase of service agreement between Bedford County Children and Youth Services, Bedford County Juvenile Probation Office for the following period, July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025 inclusive. This is based upon the recommendation of Christopher Bresco, Administrator of Bedford County Children and Youth Service for Conwell Memorial Medical Center, Maternal Addiction Resources Center, MARC.
So moved.
I'll second.
Having a first and a second, any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. A motion to act on the approval of grant cooperation agreement and resolution between the Southern Alleghenies Planning and Development Commission, the Bedford County, the Blair County Planning Commission for the benefit of Blair County, the Cambria County Planning Commission for the benefit of Cambria County, the County of Fulton, the County of Huntington, and the County of Somerset for the CFA's Greenways, Trails, and Recreation Program. This is based upon the recommendation of Southern Alleghenies Planning and Development Board of Directors.
So moved.
I'll second.
Having a first and a second, any additional comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. A motion to approve the force account agreement with the Borough of Everett Municipal Authority for CDBG FFY 2023 BEAMA Water Meters Replacement Project. This is based upon the recommendation of the Borough of Everett Area Municipal Authority. Everett Borough, Jeff Fellers, CDBG Administrator with the Bedford County Planning.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Having a first and a second, any additional comments? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That motion will carry. A motion to issue a notice of award for LB Water Service, Inc. of Evansburg, Pennsylvania for the water meters procurement contract for BEMA Water Meters Replacement Project, a CDBG-20223-C000089712 activity in the amount of $165,581.65 based upon the recommendation of the Borough of Everett Area Municipal Authority, Everett Borough, Jeff Fellers, CDBG Administrator with Bedford County.
65 cents is worth.
So moved.
I'll second.
Having a first and a second, any additional comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to approve the Bedford County Planning Commission's Language Access Plan based upon the recommendation of Jeffrey Fellers, CDBG Administrator.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Having a first and a second, any additional comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. A motion to approve the Community Development Block Grant Complaint Grievance Policy and Citizen Complaint Form based upon the recommendation of Jeffrey Fellows, CDBG Administrator.
So moved.
I'll second.
Having a first and a second, any additional comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
A motion to approve the Fair Housing Resolution 04.08.25 for Bedford County and the Community Development Block Grant CDBG program based upon the recommendation of Jeff Fellers, CDBG Administrator. Jeff's going to read that for us.
Okay.
I assumed you want me to read this for you? Yeah.
Please.
Let it be known to all persons of Bedford County that discrimination in the sale, rental, leasing, financing of housing or land to be used for construction of housing or in the provision of brokerage services because of race, color, sex, including gender identity and sexual orientation, national origin, religion, familial status, families with children, or handicap, disability is prohibited by Title VIII of the Civil Rights Act of 1968 of the Federal Fair Housing Act. And the Pennsylvania Human Relations Act adds that additional protected classes of age, ancestry, and use of guide or support animals because of blindness, deafness, or physical handicap of the user, or because of the user is a handler or trainer of support or guide animals. It is the policy of Bedford County to implement programs to ensure equal opportunity in housing for all persons, regardless of race, color, sex, national origin, religion, familial status, handicap, age, ancestry, or the use of guide or support animals because of blindness, deafness, or physical handicap of the user, or because the user is a handler or trainer of support or guide animals. Therefore, Bedford County does hereby pass the following resolution. 2, be it resolved that within available resources, Bedford County will assist all persons who feel they have been discriminated against because of race, color, sex, including gender identity and sexual orientation, natural origin, religion, familial status, handicap, age, ancestry, and the use of guide or support animals because of blindness, deafness, or physical handicap of the user, or because the user is a handler or trainer of support or guide animals, to seek equity under federal and state laws by filing a complaint to the local fair housing officer, Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission, and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, whichever is chosen by the person filing the complaint. Be it further resolved that Bedford County shall make publicly known that the resolution, and through this public city shall cause owners of real estate developers and builders to become aware of their respective responsibilities, rights under the Federal Fair Housing Acts, the Pennsylvania Human Relations Act, and any local law or ordinances. Further action will at minimum include, but not be limited to, publicizing the name of the contract or information of the public fair housing officer, which will include the process, file a complaint if the person feels they have been discriminated against in housing in any manner, other applicable fair housing information through local media and community contacts, and conduct at least one fair housing activity annually to better inform the public of their rights under the fair housing law and Pennsylvania Human Relations Act. And use the fair housing logo on all materials dealing with housing programs, such as, but not limited to, public advertisement for vacancies or discussing the program, applications for assistance, contracts, municipal letters dealing with federal programs. If you are a person with a disability and require a reasonable accommodation to be able to access any notification and limited English proficiency, individuals who require a document translation of any notification, please contact the Bedford County Planning Commission at 200 South Juliana Street, Bedford, PA. Phone number 814-623-4827. Touchtone users call PA Relay Center at 1-800-654-5984, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. or www.bedfordcountypa.org, or you can email myself at jfellers@bedfordcountypa.org. This resolution will be approved at the regularly scheduled meeting at Bedford County Commissioners held on April 8th, 2025.
Thank you.
I'll make that motion.
Second? I'll second it. All those in favor?
Just hold on a minute, I have a question. I assume this is the annual notice that has to be passed in order to receive assistance.
Yes, it does. Through the CDBG, we're required to do the fair housing with the Department of Community and Economic Development, who oversees that program for the HUD. So it is quite a requirement that we have to use it on all our forms, contracts, any of that stuff. make sure that the community knows that, this county wants fair housing.
Okay. All right, so
Okay, having a first and a second, all those in favor?
I,
Opposed?
No.
That motion will carry. Next,
I have comments.
please.
Last month, we passed a fair housing resolution, which I believe was comprehensive enough to cover any people that feel discriminated against. I don't see the need to pass another one this month. And therefore, I think some of the terminology in there, there's different things happening on the federal level that is filtering down through the states. And so I'm voting no based on the fact that I don't think it's some of the language is necessarily needed in this act that we're voting on today, so that's why I'm voting no.
Okay, next we have a motion to approve the proclamation of Pennsylvania 811 Safe Digging Month based upon the recommendation of Bedford County Commissioners. You just going to read that as well?
Well, I stayed up here, I figured I'd just to read this one off as well.
Thank you.
All right, Pennsylvania 811 Safe Digging Month, April of 2025. Whereas the month of April 2025 recognized as Pennsylvania 811 Safe Digging Month, and the initiative sponsored by Pennsylvania 811, a utility notification information center with 53 years of continuous service to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And whereas Pennsylvania 811 received 1 million excavation notifications in 2024, over 3,000 construction projects in Coordinate, PA, and transmitted approximately 6 million notifications to their member facility owners and operators, allowing essential utility and construction crews to provide vital underground services and repair of crucial infrastructure and communities throughout Pennsylvania. And whereas when contacting 811, at least 3 business days before digging, a homeowner or contractor is connected to a unique service that notifies the appropriate underground utility operators in the municipality in which the work will be performed. And whereas by notifying 811 of their intent to dig, the homeowner or contractor is knowingly helping to protect the underground utilities, themselves, the work crew, and their neighbors from unsafe digging practices within the community. And whereas upon receiving the notification from Pennsylvania 811, the facility owners and operators disperse to said work site to mark the approximate location of their underground utility lines with flags, paint, or both to establish an 18-inch tolerance zone of the outside wall or edge of the line or facility. And now it therefore be resolved that Bedford County Commissioners are in support of the Pennsylvania Underground Utility Line Protection Law, PA Act 287 of 1974, as amended. We do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Pennsylvania 811 Safe Digging Month and encourage all Pennsylvanians to visit the Pennsylvania 811 website at www.pa1call.org for information about digging safely.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And this is a great program because I know that we're all required, if we're digging, to call in advance, because if we don't, then we damage the line of the tile. If we call in advance, we at least have some notification of where these lines may be. I use it myself different times. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
and I'll second.
Having a first and second, any additional comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have a motion to approve a proclamation for the National Public Telecommunications Week based upon the recommendation of Alex DeLeo, Director of Emergency Services. And Alex is going to read it for us.
Here we go. So for National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, April 13th through April 19th of 2025. Whereas Bedford County has experienced emergencies that require responses from police, fire, and emergency medical services. And whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, paramedics, and emergency medical technicians is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our first responders is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Bedford County 911 Center. And whereas Bedford County Public Safety Telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services. And whereas Bedford County Public Safety Telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers, firefighters, and emergency medical personnel by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, ensuring their safety. And whereas the public safety telecommunicators of Bedford County have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas each telecommunicator has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during performance of their job in the past year. Now, therefore, the Commissioners of Bedford County do hereby proclaim the week of April 13th through April 19th, 2025 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in honor of the women and men whose diligence and professionalism keep our county and citizens safe. Given under their hand and seal of the County of Bedford this 8th day of April, 2025.
And who do you have with you today?
So today I have with me Brittany McConnell, our Deputy Director for Emergency Management, and I have Ansley Merritt, our 911 Coordinator, who is relatively new to the county. And those two women put in quite a bit of work on behalf of this county, especially Ansley right now as she has just come in and is really trying to get her footing with how our operation works compared to where she came from. So we're very appreciative for her coming here.
Thank you.
I'll make that motion.
No second?
Second.
Having a first and a second, no additional comments. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Sorry? Yes.
I just want to thank 911 for the incredible work they put on a 24/7 basis. I know that some of them work really extremely long shifts and no matter what the weather is, what it's like, they've got to be in here, 24/7 and what you do is vital to Bedford County and the sacrifices they make. The hours you put in are just unbelievable. And I know that the pay is not where it should be and we wish it were more. But we're, again, thankful for you and for your staff. And I know the fire up on the mountain, we've got, 100 yards of the tower. And you were working very hard, very diligently in that, and as well as the other agencies and fire departments. And we really, again, thank you for what you do and the sacrifices you make. So thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll pass that along.
Next, we have a motion to act on the approval of proclamation for Young at Heart Weeks based upon the recommendation of Bedford County Board of Commissioners. You have Gretchen Burke to read that for us.
Young at Heart Weeks, April 28th through May 16th of 2025. Whereas Bedford County Young at Heart Games Senior Olympics will be celebrating their 20th year of competition on April 28th through May 16th. The opening ceremonies of the games will be held on Monday, April 28th at the Allenbank Fire Hall, and the closing will be held on Wednesday, May 28th at Whispering Pines Estates. Whereas the games past 20 years have been very successful as the games and the participation grow tremendously. This year, we look forward to fun and fellowship among the participants with a casino theme. And whereas Bedford County's Young at Heart citizens have made extraordinary contributions to their communities and continue to share their remarkable energy and motivation in such a positive way to improve the quality of life for citizens of all ages. And whereas the Young at Heart Game celebrates the ongoing celebration of successful aging and helps demonstrate the positive rewards of wellness and well active being. And whereas the Young at Heart Games will be held in Bedford County the weeks of April 28th through May 16th, with the award banquet and medal presentation scheduled for May 28th at 2 o'clock at Whispering Pines Estates. Now therefore, do I keep going there? I'm sorry. Now therefore, we, the Commissioners of Bedford County, do hereby proclaim the weeks of April 28th through May 16th, 2025 as the Young at Heart Games Weeks, and encourage all Bedford County citizens to pay tribute to their elders who continue to bring continue to contribute their vitality, energy, and special spirit of life. Furthermore, if you are fortunate to be of the right age, join the festivities. After all, you are never too old to play.
Thank you. And what is that right age?
It's 50 and older. I think our oldest participant's 102. this year.
One time we had 102.
How many participants do you have? approximately?
Last year we had about 200. Registrations were due last week, and I think we had
Still
just,
rolling in.
they're still rolling in. We're aiming for about like 150. So it varies.
You have a lot of different games to play.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Take a motion.
So moved.
And I'll second it.
Any further comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. And we do thank you for the work you guys do with all that, because I know I've been seeing some of those. I've been to some of those games and I've seen the people, they really enjoy it. They have a great time, which is a
Thank you.
wonderful thing for our seniors.
Thank you.
Our seniors being myself included. Next, we have a motion for the approval or proclamation of National Library Week. Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped over, skipped over L. Let me back up. A motion to act on the approval of proclamation for alcohol awareness month based upon the recommendation of Bedford County Commissioners. And Pete Lohner is going to read that for us.
Good morning. I also have Ben Noggle with me here from Personal Solutions. Whereas alcohol is the most commonly used addictive substance in Bedford County, and whereas 1 in every 12 adults in the United States suffers from alcohol abuse or dependence, and whereas more than 95,000 persons die each year from alcohol-related causes, drinking and driving crashes, other accidents, falls, fires, alcohol-related homicides, and suicides. And whereas more than 7 million children live in a household where at least one person is dependent on or has abused alcohol, and whereas young people who begin drinking before age 15 are 4 times more likely to develop alcohol dependence than those who begin drinking at age 21. And whereas alcohol-related problems cost America $249 billion, approximately $807 per person, in lost productivity, absenteeism, healthcare costs, crime, and family-related problems. And whereas alcohol-related commercials make up 1.5% of all advertisements on primetime television and 7% of all advertisements in sports programming. Now therefore it be resolved that Personal Solutions Incorporated, along with the Bedford County Commissioners, hereby proclaim April 2025 as Alcohol Awareness Month in Bedford County, Pennsylvania, and encourages its citizens to support efforts that reduce stigma, increase community awareness, and increase support for individuals and families coping with alcoholism, not only during Alcohol Awareness Month, but all year long, making a visible statement that we are strongly committed to a drug-free Bedford County.
Thank you. Do we have a motion
Yes, I will make that motion.
and a second?
I'll second.
Any further comments? Having a first and second, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion will carry. Now we have a motion to act on the approval of proclamation for National Library Week, April 6th to the 12th, 2025, based upon the recommendation of Bedford County Commissioners. And Matt's going to read that for us.
Thank you. And I have with me Amber Snyder of the Everett Free Library and Jamie Crooks of the Saxton Area Library. National Library Week 2025, April 6th through 12th, 2025. Whereas libraries spark creativity, fuel imagination, and inspire lifelong learning, offering a space where individuals of all ages can explore innovative ideas and be drawn to new possibilities. And whereas libraries serve as vibrant community hubs, connecting people with knowledge, technology, and resources while fostering civic engagement, critical thinking, and lifelong learning. And whereas libraries provide free and equitable access to books, digital tools, innovative programming, ensuring that all individuals, regardless of background, have the support they need to learn, connect, and thrive. And whereas libraries partner with schools, businesses, and organizations, connecting the dots to maximize resources, increasing efficiency, and expand access to essential services, strengthening the entire community. And whereas libraries empower job seekers, entrepreneurs, lifelong learners by providing access to resources, training, and opportunities that support career growth and economic success. And whereas libraries nurture young minds through story times, STEAM programs, and literacy initiatives, fostering curiosity and a love of learning that lasts a lifetime. And whereas libraries protect the right to read, think, and explore without censorship, standing as champions of intellectual freedom and free expression. And whereas dedicated librarians and library workers provide welcoming spaces that inspire discovery, collaboration, and creativity for all. And whereas libraries, librarians, and library workers across the country are joining together to celebrate National Library Week under the theme of Drawn to the Library. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Bedford County Commissioners proclaim April 6th through 12th, 2025 as National Library Week. During this week, we encourage all residents to visit their library, explore its resources, and celebrate all the ways that the library draws us together as a community.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anything else that you want to say about, this is the opportunity?
Oh, absolutely. If you give me just a moment. So please feel free to visit your local libraries this week. And then hopefully in the future after that, we are very encouraged right now with the number of people we're seeing coming into the building and also using us digitally. We also want to thank you all for not only recognizing this week, but all that you contribute to the library system as a whole. Somewhere around $200,000 worth of whether it's in-kind donation or physical donation, we do appreciate, and it's essential for us to continue to work. So thank you all. Please come see us. Library cards are free for every resident of Bedford County. I don't even think any of us really charge much for any services at the libraries anymore. So come on out. You may learn that we have something new that you never knew we had before.
What's going on in each of your individual libraries this month? Anything
You guys-
fun to get out into the
You
public
guys want
here?
to say something? Yeah.
So at Everett, we have an unusual Easter egg hunt coming up. It goes for almost a week. We have a Pasanki egg program, which is Ukrainian Easter eggs. And then we have our traditional story time that we have every Friday morning with Miss Susie at 11. Those are just some of the programs that we have this month.
Jamie, you got a couple you want to say? Okay. And at the Bedford Library, Bedford and Hyman are celebrating National Library Week in a couple different ways. Everybody who checks out a book is going to get 3 bricks, and we're building a Lego tower. We're trying to see how tall we can get it, so come check some books out to do that. There's some hearts that we're coloring to show your library support. We've already got like half our door covered, so we have to figure out where to put the ones we get finished. Children can come adopt a stuffed animal. So little stuffed animals they can name and adopt and have for themselves. And then everybody who wants to be a bookworm can get some free worms. And then of course we have, in conjunction with the Master Gardeners at Bedford, we have a program coming up this evening and on Saturday for, I believe it's pollinator gardens, but I could be wrong. It could just be native plants. And last but not least, STEM on Saturday and the second Saturday of every month, at least through August, will be coming at the Bedford Library as well. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Matt, can you share a little bit about the Hoopla program?
Oh yeah, sure. So with your library card, you get access to ebooks under 2 different platforms. One is Cloud Library, which is funded through our entire district, which is Bedford, Blair, and Huntington counties. The other, which is exclusive to Bedford County, is Hoopla. Hoopla permits 12 circulations per month per person on your library card. It's kind of like Netflix. It has about 1.5 million items now. They keep increasing the number, so it's really hard to keep track. 1.5 million items that you can check out, and those include ebooks, e-audio, e-video, music, comic books. And I'm sure I'm missing stuff there because it's a very wide range of things. So yeah, Hoopla's great. We have, we're looking this year at probably somewhere between 20 and 30,000 circulations, which is even up from last year, which is our best year. So
That's also a free service.
100% free.
Matt, I just want to commend you and the other directors of that, just incredible service you're providing the county. As a homeschool parent, my wife actively uses the library with the boys' education, and I know we're part of a very vibrant homeschool community. We've got about 70 children, roughly, give or take a few, in our homeschool co-op, and I know they use the various libraries available to them. And so without you, it really helps supplement our education, gets a wide variety of books into their hands, and I can't thank you enough for what you do and the hours you put in. I also know that you all are underpaid and whatnot, but we do thank you for what you're doing and the service you provide these communities. I know that growing up, for me personally, the library was a huge part of my life. I visited often and was very thankful for that. And I know that there are those in the county who don't have internet at home, and they come in and use the internet portals to search for jobs and look up articles and things. So you provide a wide range of services, so I'm very thankful for that.
Yes. Thank you. All.
Thank you. So we had a first and a second, but I don't think we voted on this.
No, we didn't make the motion on this.
Okay, I need a motion.
So moved.
And I'll second.
Having a first and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion will carry. Next, we have a motion to act on approving Governor Shapiro's proclamation claiming the month of April as Child Abuse Prevention Month, based upon the recommendation of Christopher Gresco, Administrator of Bedford County Children and Youth Services.
Thank you.
Read this to us.
Thank you, no problem. Child Abuse Prevention Month, April 2025. Whereas in 2024, Bedford County Children and Youth Services confirmed 14 cases of substantiated child abuse. And whereas child abuse and neglect is a serious problem impacting every segment of our community, and whereas our children are our most valuable resources and will shape the future of Pennsylvania. And whereas child abuse can have lifelong psychological, emotional, and physical consequences for victims. And whereas Bedford County Children and Youth Services is making efforts to reduce or eliminate abuse risk and to promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children. And whereas communities must take every effort to promote programs and activities that benefit children and their families. And whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promote the social and emotional well-being of children and families and a safe, stable, nurturing environment. And whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. Now therefore, the Commissioners of Bedford County do hereby proclaim April 2025 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month and encourage all citizens to cherish our children and join in protecting them from all forms of physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And I think most of us know firsthand and have seen something as what you've explained here.
We have a good staff of hardworking individuals that keep our kids safe, and they're in it for the right reasons. And a lot of them work a lot of time, a lot of hours, and a lot of effort into it.
Yes.
So thank you.
We have a very fine crew over there. We appreciate what you're doing.
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
Having a first and a second, any additional comments? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carries. Next, we have a motion to act on the approval of the following personnel actions as received by department's heads as listed. Take a motion.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
A second. I will second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion will carry. Next, we have commissioner comments, appointments, and bid openings. Do my fellow commissioners have any comments they'd like to make before we adjourn? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to our salary board agenda. A roll call, myself, Commissioner White, Commissioner Botman, Melissa Cottle, Secretary Treasurer, we're all here. So I will take a motion for the approval of minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I'll take a second. Having a first and a second, any additional comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion will carry. We have no old business listed, but under new business, we have as listed, the new business as listed, it's a motion to act on the approval of wages or as by union contracts for the following personnel based upon the recommendation of their representative department heads for April. We'll do all 18 as listed.
So moved.
I'll
Second.
second.
Having a first and a second, any additional comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
That motion will carry. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Thank you. We appreciate you all coming.
Next month, we'll be meeting in room 303, because the election machines and everything will be here.
Yeah.